Accelero. Now let's move on to the test of stamina. This is race number 7. This is the 1.25 million rand Gold Cup. It's grade 1, the grueling 3,200 meters. 20 runners. I believe Taipan might be coming out, so we'll have 19 runners going to post. We'll get confirmation of that when chatting to Dean Kannemeyer this morning. There was 1 or 2 hiccups there, so perhaps 19 runners. We just got confirmation Taipan has been scratched, so it's 19 runners going down to the post. Let's have a look at that slide. You can see number 1 is Seal, Gavin Van Zyl, Bernard Fadeherb. Number 2, Blake now from the Dean Kannemeyer stable. Carl Nisius rides there. Number 3, Gold Onyx for the Sean Terry stable. And what more can be said about Samanga Kumalo? They're riding a crest of a wave for Mr. Chris van Niekerk. Number 4 is Show Gunner. Well, we've got to say the best novice in the country, a one-time winner, taking on all these horses in the July, going the Gold Cup distance. Down the page, number 10, Sage Throne, Colin Scott and MJ Odendaal, and this promises to be a really exciting finish. Going on to the second page, number 11 is Calcutta, Pierce Stradum, Sean Terry. Once again, there's the X factor about Pierce Stradum, and he won well last time out, did Calcutta. Down the page, number 17, Patriotic Rebel, Anthony Del Pesh for Mike de Kock. 19, Canterbury Tale, Raymond Danielson, and then the grey number 20, which is Night to Remember. This is the mount of Sean Veal, and they ride for the Duncan House stable. Looking at this race, it's very, very competitive. And Garth, looking at the field, it's a wide open looking event.
Yeah, very wide open. I mean, there's not a lot of weight between the top weight and the bottom weight. Very competitive. It's coming towards the end of the season. A lot of horses have felt it. It's probably been a hard season for some of them. But in saying that, it's still very competitive. Very competitive. I mean, I think Blake sticks out a little bit for me. Great race last year, down in the weights, well weighted. Calcutta, obviously, the Stradum factor, plus the fact the stable's on form. And one must consider the championships out at stake. The winner of this will probably, being that Mike de Kock or Sean Terry will grab the championship. Yeah, but there's a lot more in the race than just those.
Joe, your opinion on the overall field?
I've got to state this firsthand. The handicappers haven't made it easier for us as punters. I think it's a total disgrace that they have been given at handicappers discretion to sort out the weights. They give the merit ratings as they are. We're running off these ratings, but they've made Seal the horse to beat on handicapping, even though I don't like it. But it's, you know, the racing's hard enough as it is, and if they're not prepared to back themselves, the handicappers, I said, how can, you know, get the trust of the industry behind them? And I think it's in very, very poor taste the way that the handicappers have issued the weights here. But saying that, we've got the race on hands. We all knew that beforehand what the weights were, so we had choices to scratch or not. Very, very difficult race. I believe that some of the horses, if they do stay, will probably win it, the class horses that is, but your out and out stayers are obviously the ones that should fight it out. I like what Garth said again. I'm not just agreeing with because we're here in the studio together, but I like Blake. I think he's been very, very well prepared, very well, had a good prep. Dean's done a very, very good job with that. And I like Mark de Kock's horse, the 3-year-old Patriotic Rebel. I think that I was quite impressed with his run on July Day, and I think he might just be the horse that has got the most scope for improvement. And sorry, just the last horse that I want to mention here quickly is a horse like Gold Onyx. I think he's a type of horse. Is it possible that Kumalo, Sean, and Mr. Van Niekerk can run for that long, you know? And congratulations to them anyway. But I think could be a type of horse that's looking for this kind of ground. And if he does stay, I think he could be the horse that they might all have to beat.
Let's take a look at the 3-year-old Patriotic Rebels run in the Mango 2200 at Greyville, where he came so close to Master Plan.
They've got just over 500 metres to go, and Roker's Luck's going to bring him into the stretch. Blackwing a second. Top markers on the inside. Dubai Gina coming around them, then Patriotic Rebel. Gold Onyx going to dart through down the inside, then Taipan. River Crossing on the outside. Roker's Luck. Gold Onyx coming home powerfully on the outside. Patriotic Rebel. Master Plan's getting into the race raid. Roker's Luck just the leader. Patriotic Rebel. Master Plan coming home powerfully on the inside. Master Plan's coming home from Patriotic Rebel, and Master Plan won it. Patriotic Rebel second. Gold Onyx third. Roker's Luck fourth. And behind that, Taipan.
3-year-old son of Stronghold Patriotic Rebel, going very close in that Mango 2200. Now, Garth, on that run alone, he looks like he might be able to see out the trip.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, you can guarantee one thing: he'll come to races fit. That was a very good run, Master Plan, a top horse. I mean, they were disappointed last year when he lost his shoes and that. But I think, in saying that, he's a 3-year-old. They got him quite up in the weights. It's not an easy ask. He's got that common look about him, but I know they're getting towards being 4 years old, but it's not going to be easy. As Joey was saying, the weights are very concentrated, yeah. And I mean, a horse like Seal fluffed his lines on July Day, but if you look at that kind of form, I mean, he stands out here. I mean, if they've worked out what went wrong, or they know what went wrong, and they obviously have, otherwise he wouldn't be taking his place here. It's hard to see horses that would beat him on stamina. And I go back to the proven stamina horses are the horses that stand out for me.
Okay, let's run through the horses from the top. We've touched on Seal. Let's touch on number 2, Blake. And Joe, you give Blake a nice chance as well?
A big runner, as I said. He's had a good prep. You know, he's just having his 4th run here. Dean's been a master at the Gold Cup winners. I think he's had 2 or 3 along the way. I remember Colonial Girl, In Writing, whoever else. He knows what he's doing, top jockey on as well. He's just had a very good prep for me. I think this has been earmarked from the beginning of the season. Thought a little bit unlucky last year because they went very slow in the Gold Cup last year and it never suited him. So he's got the class. He's carrying a little bit of pudding, a little bit of weight at 58, but he's got the class to win a race like that. There's no doubt a big runner, one of the big runners in the race.
Number 3 is Gold Onyx. This is from the Sean Terry stable. Tremendous run. Samanga Kumalo, Sean Terry and Christopher Neckog. Now, going into a race like this, you've got so much confidence and things going right for you.
Yeah, and I mean, the stable's obviously ticking over beautifully, but Patriotic Rebel, I thought on the rear run that we just watched, had the beating of Gold Onyx. Will he get the 3-2? Question mark. A great race run in the July last year, but maybe the 3-2 would be stretching him.
What's your take on Gold Onyx?
Yeah, I like it. I do agree watching. That's why it's so enjoyable to watch his reruns, because you get an opinion, and he seemed to they were sort of going together, him and Patriotic Rebel. I thought they were maybe a little bit stronger field on the day than what Kolkata form line was on the day. So with that in mind, he's got to have a chance if he stays. You know, as I said, he's the type of horse that's never been this distance, but if you look over his 2 runs over 2-2, he finished 2.5 lengths beyond Pomodoro in the July last year and finishing nicely 1.5 lengths beyond Master Plan. So maybe crying out for this distance. Once again, I think hardly done well with the weight that he has to carry.
Number 4 is Showgunner. This is from the Gavin Van Zyl stable. He's a 1-time winner. He's had the 9 placings from the 15 runs. Now, Garth, going into a Gold Cup just after coming from the July as a 1-time winner, do you think it could take the stuffing out of him?
Not really. I think this is a hardened campaigner. This is a dark horse. This is really the dark horse. He's run 2nds and 3rds to good horses. I know he's only a 1-time winner, and everyone jokes about it, but he's probably, this might be his trip. Maybe this is what he's looking for. There's no reason that Elliot or Mayor, Pascal Scher, he must. I've got a client that fancies him strongly. He thinks this is his race.
I remember him winning a maiden early on. I think it was over 2,500 meters, so that's probably a year and a half ago. So the stamina might be what he's looking for.
No reason why he shouldn't stay.
Joe, what do you think about number 4, Shogun? He's around 12, 14 to 1. I'll give him a little bit of a value shot.
If you fancy him, there's no ways I can put you off. My only concern is that I think this horse has forgotten how to win. He's held his own from a very young horse with the best in the country. I think he ran 3rd or 4th in the Daily News as a young horse. There's no doubt in my mind that he will stay. I know the family, they all went, I think they won over 2-4 and up to 2 miles, so there's no doubt he should stay. But as I say, coming into these races as a 1-time winner, you just need that confidence, you just need that winning touch. And at the moment, I think if you fancy him, I fancy him to run in the first 4, but I just don't know if he's good enough to win it.
Number 5 is E-Jet. He's a son of Jetmaster. This is a 4-time winner. He also took his place in the Vodacom Durban July when he was drawn 18 out of 20. They tried him with blinkers on that occasion. And when chatting to Sean this morning, they thought there was too much use made of him from that barrier.
He probably over-raced. Look, he's by Jetmaster out of an Argentinian mare. Sean must feel that he's got a chance to run him here. I'm not convinced that he'll see out the 3-2. They've taken the blinkers off, obviously, to settle him. But this is, like I was saying, this is a hard race. I mean, the pace is on, and at some stage of a 3-2, all the horses are going to reach their top. They say there's 2 races you can take time into consideration. It's 1,000 meters and 2 miles. So these horses will be tested. Doesn't matter if they go slow early and they go fast in the middle, or they go fast early and they slow. Times count here, and I think they'll test him.
Joe, looking at this horse, he ran in the SA Derby over 2:4:50, and he's only 2.5 lengths behind the Pomodoras and the Royal Benches. So on that run alone, he could be another dark horse in the race if he sees it out.
Look, not my favourite horse at the moment because he killed my July. He went and he chased Wagner all the way through, never got him to settle at any given time. He did over race with the blinkers. Going back to the Derby run, he had every chance. He's had every chance to get there and win over this kind of distance. My personal opinion, and I've had a debate with Sean, I don't think he stays, but Sean believes that he'll be better over this kind of distance. Who am I to say anything? He's fighting the title out with the Coxer. I've got to say he knows more than me, but I don't feel he stays. But he's got the class. If he does, once again, if he does stay, he has got the class to win a race like this.
Number 7 is Paddy O'Reilly, and number 8, River Crossing. Garth, do you give either of these 2 a place chance, or you'll pass them by?
You can't pass anything behind the Gold Cup. Don't make that mistake. They've come from Port Elizabeth with lesser fancied horses, and they've won convincingly. This is a race on stamina. Paddy O'Reilly, last win, Port Elizabeth, but over 3,200 metres. And obviously Fitos in this, and I know Mike personally, and Mike very good with stayers. That Noordhoek Beach, it's got something for those stayers. But I don't fancy him, and River Crossing I thought was an improving horse. And I mean, it's got Sean Cormack up. You got to look at these kind of things. These kind of jockeys have a choice of a lot of rides, and they pick something maybe a bit early and they can't get off, but they pick something that looks like it's improving. And at one stage he looked like he was on song to be a contender. I won't write him off River Crossing.
Number 9 is Sivu Player. This is from the Ormond Ferrara stable. They get Washong mooing in, and you got to look at him as a possible contender. Yeah, he sees out the trip well enough.
Yeah, no doubt. I think this is one of the serious contenders, Sheldon. Top trainer. He's seen the course with the length beyond River Crossing. And he was given the greatest ride that day. Washong mowing on board. Stays very well. If you like Sealed, you've got to like him as well. There's a run where they were level weights or half a length in it. There's 4 kilos in his favour on that run. Now, definitely a type of horse. Once again, a genuine stayer. Going to be fit on the day with trained by Mr. Ferraris. Top jockey on. I think that he's maybe in the top 3. One of my horses that could be in the top 3.
About to move on to number 11, Calcutta, and this is from the Sean Terry stable. Before we chat about him, let's go and have a look.
Sheldon, number 10, Sage Throne.
Sage Throne, you give him some sort of
No,
say?
we've got to, once again, Sean Terry did tell me one day on TV, the owners pay a lot of money to have their horses in this race. Let's give them a fair chance that we discuss all of them.
He's been very disappointing on the whole. I remember last year he was fancied strong for the race. Can you tip him?
He's got class. If he comes back to his earlier form, if I like Blake on last year, he's been a little bit disappointing this year. It started coming to form, gone wrong his last 2 starts. He's got the class, he's got the ability, and there's no doubt he'll appreciate the 3-2. I think if you're looking for a serious roughie on the day for a big quartet, I wouldn't leave Sage Throne out.
Are you in agreement with that, Garth?
Yeah, 3.5 lengths off them last Gold Cup, and he's down 3 pound. For me, it's all got to do with stamina. You've got to have horse well on the day and fit. And if he's feeling good and he's got the stamina, he's a contender. And now you've got to ask yourself, will he have luck in the running? He's a horse that has been disappointing. I know that after he was disqualified, they thought a hell of a lot of him. But he's got the class. You just got to be a little bit careful.
Let's go on to that rerun of number 11, Calcutta, when winning the Gold Vase at Greyville.
Jeppy's Reeve. Behind that, Beloved Betty Bowles. Eaton Mess on the outside. Putney Flyer, Sunningdale. Kolkata's got about 4 or 5 to go. Blake down the inside. Homeward bound, Jeppy's Reef moves in. Maasai Warrior, Canterbury Tail. Kolkata is a big runner on the inside. Putney Flyers coming on. Beloved Betty. Kolkata, though, coming home powerfully at the 200-metre marker. And it's Kolkata who hit the front on the outside Putney Flyer, but they're going to battle to beat this one. And Kolkata has got it won. Second will go to Night to Remember. Third position, close between